Hello friends. Today we have a column like this one for repair. You can see its name on your screen now. The column does not work and does not turn on, as the owner said. Some part was pulled out of the column. They said that they pulled out some part from this column. Let's take it apart and see what's there. First, let's see how it behaves. As you can see, it tries to turn on. But for some reason it doesn't. Let's start disassembling the column. So, friends, what do we see here? I'll show you how the wires and connectors are located, so that you can assemble it correctly later. I see that someone has already climbed here, and it is clear that they marked the connectors with a black marker. I also see that one battery is missing. Perhaps this is the part that was pulled out. Just look at how they changed the USB connector here. It's obvious that the work was done by an amateur. There's a giant drop of solder on top of the connector. It's not clear why they did it. It's also obvious that there's some kind of jumper in the video of the red wire. Friends, it looks like the board was repaired by some idiot. I see that he cut the track mechanically. It looks like it was done with a knife or a scalpel. The track was also cut off from the backside. Look at this. Here the track is also cut off, and then a jumper was thrown into this place. Why this was done remains a mystery. I noticed that the board sometimes turns off when turned on and sometimes turns on and Bluetooth blinks. The speaker is now searching for a phone via Bluetooth. Some strange behavior. I can't figure out what's wrong yet. Maybe my lab power supply doesn't have enough power. The shutdown occurs periodically. Maybe more current is needed when turning on the device. Strange behavior. But let me restore USB first. Then I will install 2 new batteries. After that I will try to test the speaker. I dismantled the old USB and installed a new USB. Now I understand why the previous master ran the wire as a jumper. Because he probably accidentally removed the mask, and the contact became without insulation, and if you install USB, it will short-circuit the plus and minus with its body. But it was possible to do everything much easier. It was enough to simply apply a mask and thus make insulation. The easiest option now is to install the same jumper since it has caused a lot of problems and there is too much to restore. If it had not cut the track, I would have made insulation and applied a mask. But since the track is cut here and you need to make a jumper in the form of a wire, but if you solder the wire, it will prevent the USB from sitting tightly in its place, and because of this it will not fit into the plastic case. In this case, for me the easiest option is to install the same jumper from the red wire in place. Now I understand why he did a very dirty job of replacing the USB. The capacitors were in the way and he burned the housing of 2 capacitors. I unsoldered one of them so that I could easily get under it with a soldering iron and solder the USB legs. But he didn't do this because he was too lazy to do it, and thus he damaged the capacitor housings. Now I need to check the capacity and operation of the capacitors. If they are faulty, then they need to be replaced. I replaced the USB. Now this is what it looks like. It looks like new. I also assembled 2 absolutely new batteries and dismantled the old non-working battery. On the second battery I made a slightly different plug because there was no original one, but it will work just as well. Now there will be power from 2 batteries and it will last for quite a long time. I have already installed 2 batteries in their places. They are mounted on hot glue, and I also added a little hot glue on top. Now I need to install it on the speaker. Done, friends. I also soldered the antenna. It was torn off and I restored it. It remains to restore the volume control. As you can see, the plastic is cracked here and the variable resistor is very poorly connected. I will restore it now using a soldering iron and make special marks for better adhesion. I assembled the speaker, checked everything, and now it charges and works in the normal mode. I also restored the plastic volume control. I restored the plastic with a soldering iron, and now the plastic and the control have excellent adhesion.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is connected.
Now it has connected to my phone, but I can't turn it on because I'm filming on my phone. Unfortunately, you can't film or listen to music, but as you can see, everything works. I hope the video was interesting. Subscribe to the channel, like it, and see you in the next videos. Bye!